I've had this weird idea in my mind. I don't know why for like a little while now. I don't remember. I don't even remember how long. But even though we have people out there who are really awesome, and I admire a lot of their qualities, like business people, scientists, artists throughout time, and these people who manage to quote unquote win the game, right? They managed to make a fortune, they managed to become famous, they managed to create great art or whatever it is that you would consider success, and they've achieved it, and they quote unquote won this game. Or at least most of us would say they have, right? Because they've achieved financial success, or they can live without having to do something they don't want to do necessarily. But then there's these other group of people that often come up, and also throughout history, that fascinate me as well. And these people, I guess you could call them the people that you can say maybe don't even play the game, and you can interpret that in different ways, right? There's just people who do their own thing, one that as much as possible, right? Like there's the famous ones like the Buddha, right? And monks and people who just check out from society completely. One of them that many people say they were playing their own game, but that I always loved looking at is I think they went by the name of Papa Neutrino. This guy that kind of did all kinds of crazy feats, but also gave away everything and didn't really keep anything. He just would just give it away, right? And maybe you'll make a longer, I don't know, post or whatever about these type of people, but they're also great. At the same time, I had this idea of what I call an enigma, or I don't even know why I keep using that word, but the idea is that this person who my brother says is unrealistic, can't exist, it's not a human, right? But this idea that you still know that these people existed, right? Like philosophers throughout time. I forgot the name of the one that Alexander wanted to learn from, and he's like, I don't want anything from you except for you to get out of to move aside so I can get some sun. That's the only thing I want from you. But these people throughout history, right? I I wonder if you wouldn't even be able to detect a person that's truly completely detached and truly didn't want anything, right? Like, um, uh, 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 in some ways, the people who have achieved quote unquote nirvana, maybe out there, maybe not out there. It's impossible to know. But maybe if somebody did completely detach, from my understanding, right, like of just not wanting anything, I, I'll often just keep wrestling with this idea. Do they not want anything to the point where like they don't even want recognition from anybody for having reached anything? They don't need to share that they have reached anything. If you ask them about anything, they might not even be inclined to share anything beyond like maybe even nothing, right? Like they wouldn't register with quote unquote normal human beings and our standard questions. And so maybe they completely isolate themselves and they can just live in the forest by themselves and just stay out there, so they would be basically completely isolated and nobody would even know about them. And so this is the idea that I wrestle with, because I think like we're all human, even like the Papa Neutrino guy who I really love, and the Spirit, they still were making videos and they were still um, trying to, make their ideas be implemented. Like the one I remember is the football thing that he was trying to get, uh, to be recognized. But I mean, he did some crazy stuff, some amazing stuff that is beyond all of us. Like people like I said, like these people are incredible. They're beyond. They're like in my mind, some of the most incredible humans to ever live, right? And so I am glad that we know about them. But at the same time, I think maybe there's like this concept of a human that completely is detached, completely where you wouldn't know they exist. They're just existing because they wouldn't have a need to ever communicate it at all. And maybe this person can truly be alive or have lived at one point, but nobody knew about them ever, right? Like they just completely, and I guess maybe that's kind of what the Buddha is supposed to have been, but the fact that we learned about them is what maybe to me makes it odd that they would. So maybe I just don't know the story, the history of why they decided to teach, or how we knew about their uh, methods and how they think, right? Um, so yeah, that's just the idea of like this type of human that is completely detached, so they don't need to express anything, they don't need to communicate anything to other humans, they just completely don't care about anything, anybody, or any, literally maybe they wouldn't even care enough to eat and they would just starve to death. I don't know. um that is the question, and that is a little weird mind experiment that I always keep going back to for some odd reason.